Started. Yeah. What's good? What's good? You know what time it is. It's the 10A podcast. It's 10 in the morning. I'm here with my lovely co-host, the lovely Christine in the building.
Good morning. Good morning.
A lot of matchups set. I mean, we got Fatal Fury this weekend, a rematch coming. I know I gotta hear it from Christine because she was right away. Conor Benn versus uh, Chris Eubank Jr. rematch looks like it's almost set.
You're gonna listen to me. You're gonna listen to me one day.
But Cumbie versus Pacheco. We got Fundora skipping the purse bid, dropping his belt, and now looking for a rematch with Tim Tszyu. Canelo Berlanga back at it. And also Bud Crawford, recognizing how great of a boxer Canelo Alvarez is. We're going to talk about that right after this. And we're back.
We are back.
I had to turn on my lights. I had to set the mood. You know, let you see the Giants in the background. You know, we had a great draft. You know, I just want to rub that into you real quick because, you know, you guys had another shitty draft.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay.
What's okay? Tell us how you feel.
I'm a Cowboy fan, but I'm not like a diehard. Like boxing is my thing. I'll go to Cowboy games. I'm gonna cheer for my people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm not a diehard.
I mean, it's hard to be a diehard when your team is the Cowboys.
I mean, whatever. I'm you know, I'm not one of those seasonal fans where if they're up, I'm up. You know, I'm loyal. I'm loyal.
I'm not even gonna respond to. I'm just gonna. Anyways,
that's fine.
Boxing has been super lit again. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Appreciate y'all. You know what times we're on. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Yes, thank y'all for
tuning in. You know, and also we have a show Thursday, having lunch with Christine. Make sure you guys tune in this Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Cowboys time, I guess you could call it. And yeah, we're gonna be lit. We're definitely gonna be lit. But Christine, there's a lot. I mean, why is it always like when sometimes boxing is just dead, then all of a sudden every day something drops, like every day something big. I've been watching the interviews.
But hold on, you said boxing is dead. So no, boxing has not been dead. Boxing has not been dead. It never has been dead. Maybe people aren't paying attention, or their favorite fighters, or just the big names aren't doing anything. But boxing has not been dead. Just want to put that out.
For a lot of the so-called media, sometimes they'll consider it that it's dead because there's not much to talk about. And things that
they're not following the new blood. They're not following the up and comings. They're not following, you know, the amateurs that are coming through the USA system or USA boxing system or other, you know, all over the world. They're not following that. You know,
Christine, not everybody's in love with boxing like you. You're just obsessed with it. But to that point, my man Alexander Wilson says, so reports are coming out that Benn and Eubank did over 1 million worldwide. What are your thoughts? And we touched on it yesterday, right? Yeah. And I said this, I said, listen, they just showed some power, some star power in that division. Absolutely. Who else is doing 1 million buys? Who else? I mean,
shout out to everything boxing. Yes, for that.
I mean, 1 million buys. I think it was 70,000 in the arena. Me and Christine were talking about it yesterday, and you know, I was pretty much saying I think maybe he chases the Canelo bag one last time and then does the rematch. But I guess it was so.
It was so wrong. Huh? Norbs, you got to admit it. You were so wrong.
I was wrong.
I told you. I said it's not going to happen. This is still hot. They're going to run it back immediately. Canelo has 4 fights. Yeah. He's just getting rid of one this weekend. Then he's got 3 more.
He's got another win in September. Then after February be open. But I mean, it's just impressive. I mean, it does show Conor Benn and Chris Eubank's star power. I mean,
absolutely, they're royalty over there in the UK. I'm telling you, the whole family.
What does that do though for? A the 147-pound division, which Conor Benn is originally from, and you know, I mean, Chris Eubank is pretty much got maybe 2 fights left in him, right? So, what does it do for that 147 pound? Because when we talk 147, we always talk
Takes
about
him out. It takes him out because that's not his next fight.
no, I know, but it does add to the luster of 147. Listen, Boots, they said he wanted to see him as a star, right? Boots didn't have any stars. Now we got Conor Benn selling $1 million overseas. That adds to a possible future mega match, maybe in 2026.
Yes.
We still got Brian Norman Jr. You got Ryan Garcia fighting at 147.
Yep.
Devin Haney's now fighting at 147. Rolly Romero, the superstar, is fighting at 147.
Yep, that's right.
147 has just become
getting caliente again.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's getting very, very hot. Very hot.
It is.
I really figured that it was such a war. First of all, Eddie Hearn came out and said that they were both in the hospital for 3 days after the fight, and they were literally 2 beds apart from each other. So how did another fight not break out in the hospital is what I want.
Because you know what, I said they're not going to carry it over. They're not going to carry it over. It's everything happens in the ring. They may not like each other, but they're not going to carry it over. They both know what they did to each other. They got to get right. They got to get ready for this next rematch.
No, absolutely. And it's funny because, I seen that, it's kind of crazy because even after the fight, I usually see them embrace. They didn't embrace. I do believe Conor Benn does want to squash it. I think it's more on Chris Eubank's part.
Really? You think so?
Think about the interviews. When he said I would have shook his hand and he extended his hand in one of the interviews. And Chris
Eubank so you're saying previously he wanted to squash it. I thought you meant
I still think he does. I still think he kind of understands more so that this is the business. I listen, Conor Benn walks with an edge, but I also respect the fact that he's very professional, even though he's like a wild card. Like I really like Conor Benn's attitude. Like you're my competitor, once we're done, whatever. And I liked it about it. He doesn't want to sit there. Like if you look at the American boxers, all these guys are on FaceTime together, talking. Conor Benn wants no parts of that. That's what I love about Conor Benn.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why do we not you did it just now, but not just you necessarily, but why do we as boxing fans always have to compare ourselves to other countries? Because at the end of the day, we're all boxing fans, we're all boxers. It is what it is, that's where all the separation and the rivalry comes in. American boxers, they act like they do.
It's true.
Boxers act like we do. They're boxers.
Yes, it's like you can say that about football players. Yeah, they're football players, but some people come from different walks of life and they act different.
Sure they do. But I think that boxers are just boxers. They all have their own personality. It doesn't matter where they come from. They just do what they do.
It's not supposed to matter, Christine, but at the end of the day, it does. They act different. Listen, I've known a lot of trainers and you've been to the Olympics. You've seen how the Americans act as opposed to Ukraine or the Cubans. It's a different walk of life. There's more. I was talking to Iceman Scully, and he was like, when he went, I forgot what Olympics it was, and he's like, all the United States is joking around and all buddy, and then Ukraine walks in, it's like a military. It's a different mindset.
Sure, it's a discipline thing. Sure,
and it seems like they're willing more to fight each other. Same thing with the women. Women are boxers, but what did you say all the time? I'm gonna call you out on this. The women, they want to fight each other, not like the men. That's what you say, Christine.
I know, but I didn't say us from a specific country. I didn't say, the UK or only the American. No. Women boxers, period, is my point. Yes.
But no, absolutely. But the American fighters act different. I'm not gonna lie. Like, listen, the biggest. My boy brought this point up. He was like, Gervonta is the biggest American. They call him face of boxing. Why? Because he's American, right? So they don't want to admit that the face of boxing is not American. These guys just did 1 million views, 1 million buys.
Anthony Joshua says Anthony Joshua was the face of boxing.
But if you ask right now, you ask 10 people right now who's the face of boxing in America, right? You don't got to say America.
In America.
But you don't have to say. They're going to say Gervonta, and they're going to put America over everyone. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just being honest. I mean,
we're going to ask our guest tomorrow. We're not going to say who our guest is, but we're going to ask our guest tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope it's Canelo. I'm not gonna lie, really. If it's Canelo, I'm gonna cry. God, Canelo, I love you so much.
Oh my gosh, Canelo Norms has a crush on you.
I do. I have a man crush on Canelo. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but it does show. And think about this for a second. They support too. Those Europeans go out. They went out there and
I'm not
sold
gonna
that
lie
event.
about that. The fan base over there, that fan base is amazing. They travel, they fill up, stadiums, they buy
But
tickets.
they
Facts.
also have a chip on their shoulder. They also feel like, and you can ask any.
Who
I've
has
been
a
in
chip
London
on their
many times.
shoulder?
The Europeans, they feel like we
How do
don't
you
respect
know that?
them.
How do you know all Europeans? I know some amazing
I do
Europeans,
too.
people from all over. They don't have chips on their
Yes,
shoulder.
I've been out there many a times, right?
Don't make a blanket statement.
I'm
I do
gonna
not
make this.
support
I'm
his
gonna make
comment.
this blanket statement. A lot of them, a lot of the Europeans feel like, especially in London, that the Americans overlook them, that they don't respect them. Listen, whether it's rap, whether it's sports or anything. When I was out there, I was with. I
Okay,
don't even want to
okay,
say who I was
okay.
with. When I don't even want to say who I was with, and they'll say it. I'm going to tell you a quick story. It's I don't want to put the artist out that this happened to, but there was an American artist, very popular today, even in podcasting, right?
Oh, podcast.
And apparently they sent them, I think it was like 300,000. I'll tell you who it is afterwards.
Okay.
300,000 for a show, right? He decides not to show up, right? So I'm with the guys in London, and I'm like, so what happened? He was like, yo, he goes, these fucking Americans, they always do this. They think they try to play us. So that he ends up showing up in London maybe 6 months later, and they chase him out of London.
Good.
And they chased him out of London, and they actually ended up tying up one of his people that went over there and forcing them to pay the money back. And I
don't support
remember,
violence, but
yeah,
should not have done that.
and that's what the conversation was. He was like, "Yo, the Americans downplay us. They always overlook us. Even with hip hop, when you think hip hop, you never think that London has a huge scene, and they have a huge scene in
Yeah,
hip
they
hop.
do. I like their music.
Exactly, but a lot of the people out there believe that.
So I
You
get
know
what
what I
you're
mean?
saying. No, I know.
Yeah.
I have met some people from different parts of the world and have said, we thought that, Americans were this and that, but then, they meet us and they're like, y'all are cool, or yeah, you're all right with me. So I get what you're saying. But whenever you do things like that, like you say you're going to show up and do a show, you take the money and you don't. Well, shame on you.
No, absolutely. But a lot of the people out there feel like that, and I do believe that Conor Benn. That's why when Ryan put his arm around him, he's like, "Yo, we're not. This is not what it's about. It's a different thing. I don't want to be your friend, and that's a good thing. I appreciate the UK fighters. I appreciate the
Oh, I do.
Ukrainians.
They're very honest
Yeah,
about things. There's
you
no
know,
sugarcoat.
I forgot who it was. I want to say it was Arthur Betterbeeve or one of them. And they were like, "We're not moved by jewelry. We're not moved by that stuff. We want to be great." And I feel like a lot of the American fighters, outside of a guy like Devin Haney, I just watched a really good interview with Devin Haney, where he said he wants to fight the best coming up. It doesn't matter.
I like that.
Yeah, but that's not the normal mentality of the American fighters at this point. Just being honest, not the majority. I would say not all of them, but a lot of people.
It seems as though we are in a climate where people are not wanting to face the very, very best in fear of losing the O, or the reputation, or whatever. It's kind of blurred now. Like, to me, the lines, whether it's legacy or what is it, money.
And what American fighters say? What I mean, the face of boxing, Gervonta, says, "I don't care about legacy. I care about the money."
And yeah.
I mean, listen, it is what it is, and that's why
he couldn't say that if the money was not available. So whose fault is it at the end of the day?
It's a lot of attributes. Like, listen, Mexican Americans, as much money as Canelo can make, it's about legacy to them. They don't care. Chavez, legacy. They don't.
It's a different. Yeah.
Culture. Just being honest, Puerto Ricans is the same way. But you got to look at a lot of the stars are now international stars, whether it's NUA, whether it's Canelo. Boxing has evolved outside of the States, and
absolutely,
it's dope to see them
out there.
A million pay-per-views for those two guys is absolutely amazing.
It is. I'm happy for them.
He said, "I think Killer told us similar." What Killer you talking about? Oh man, this guy might have guessed it right. Bruce Gas. Good morning. What's up, man?
Good
Oh,
morning.
let's do peace, norms, and the Queen Christine. Why can't I be called like the king? They always have to up you one, right? That's
I
crazy.
mean,
Whatever. But anyways, I am excited for that rematch. I am, even though I was wrong. I thought he would go chase the Canelo bag.
you were very wrong. Can you say
You
that
don't
again?
have to, you don't have to point it
Can you
out.
say that again?
Remember September 14th. I'm going to be telling you the same thing. But yeah, you're right, Cam. Your mailman. You're absolutely right. That's exactly who it was. That's crazy. He actually he actually guessed it. You know.
Oh, you guessed it.
Yeah. I guess he told the
Oh,
story too.
Cameron. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you
Again,
get.
I'm gonna say allegedly. I don't know.
I'm not
This is
going to
what the
say
guy
that
told
he
me.
deserves any kind of physical violence or anybody did, but you did deserve to be unable to perform.
And it was crazy when I was with the individuals, and I was just like, holy shit, I don't get robbed. Like, what the hell's going on? He says, I think the PBC hurt American boxing. They rarely put on fight cards, and their fighters fight every 18 months. That is very true.
I don't agree that it hurt American boxing. I don't, because the thing is this. I mean, all we have so many different promotional companies right now, and I'll tell you what, because from the fighter's perspective, and from coaches and people that I know, PBC takes such good care of their athletes. They pay more than any other promoter. I have been told. If somebody gets hurt or somebody loses a family member, whatever, they put up the money. They take care of them. They spend more money making sure that their boxers are okay and safe after the fact, even after they're retired, and they don't want their fighters to be, I'm assuming, they didn't say this to me, I've just heard this, taking beatings all the time. They want them to have longevity and to do something after boxing, and they help them do that.
No, listen, I'm with you. I think it's more so the fighters. I don't really believe it's and you got to think about it too. When you take that type of you know time off, and you come and give us a bullshit fight, that's what hurts the fights. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. We're like, come on, nobody want to see that shit. Shout out to my guy Monty Brown TV. And I think that's the problem. That's what I say. Like, listen, the Europeans are putting on, and I'm sorry, it is what it is. I mean, Usyk is fighting. He's about to fight the rematch against
Against the Gypsy King.
no, not the Gypsy King. He's fighting a rematch against
You said Usyk?
Usyk. Yeah, he's about to fight. Usyk is about to fight.
Oh, I just heard some talk about. Well, maybe that's not out.
No. He's not. He's set to do the rematch against Dubois.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what he's fighting.
Yeah, Dubois. I know that I've heard Tyson Fury in the background talking to. So I don't know. I'm jumping the gun.
Tyson Fury is supposed to be coming back, but I think it's supposed to be against Anthony Joshua. That's another fight that's going to be big in the UK. Why the hell can't we get these fights in America?
Like, I mean, who do we have in America that's that big right now? That's the heavyweights.
No, but I mean, even regular. I don't think Shakur and Gervonta will do anywhere near that. But can we get that?
Well, the thing is this too, and we touched on this. The fans in the UK are diehard. They are ride or die with their guys. We don't have that. We jump.
No, people love Gervonta. They love Gervonta Davis. Listen, they'll show up to him to fight a can of pineapples. It doesn't matter.
They love him for sure.
But he's not giving the fans. He's not giving the fans nothing back. And Jake Paul is not what it is. These Europeans, they're coming out there and they listen. This guy had apparently Eubank had a broken jaw. They went to the hospital for 3 days, and they're willing to run the rematch right after. Come on, man. It kind of tells you something. And again, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's a bloody sport, but these guys laid it on the line. Period. And I feel like when was the last great American back and forth that wasn't a woman fighting like that? I mean, you really got to think about it. I don't even know, to be honest with you. And I'm talking about two really big names.
Oh, American?
Yeah, big names I'm talking about.
I mean, not current day.
Yeah, exactly. The last great face-off that I've seen from two Americans that I really believe was going to go down was Sugar Ray Leonard and Hitman Hearns on that podcast. They're 70 years old, and they look like they wanted to go toe-to-toe.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely built different.
Yeah, I mean, and I think boxing has to get back to that. Yes, I get the business and all of that, But at the end of the day,
But again, whose fault is it? I mean, it's the people that are throwing out all this money for minimum work, or it's like, whose fault is it? Like, I mean, they're not paying themselves. Somebody's paying them and helping them avoid or whatever, pick different fights than the ones that we want to see. So it's we're doing this.
No, but I'm just saying the difference. You said there wasn't. There is a big difference. These guys out there. Listen, Usyk and Dubois, where? Wembley, July 19th. I'm gonna have to freaking go and use my freaking flying miles to see great fights.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's just
Yeah.
it's absolutely insane. Tyson's instigated. No, that Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard shit was so funny. Like, I was like, yo, I would have paid to see them fight, but whatever. But we are getting some good matchups, although one of them fell through, and this is one of them that's going to upset a lot of Puerto Ricans. Yesterday was the purse bid for Fundora versus Xander Zayas, and Mr. Sebastian Fundora vacates a WBO super welterweight title and targets a rematch with Tim Tszyu. I got mixed feelings about this, Christine.
I just have to wonder if his handlers do not feel that he would beat Xander, and they like being where they're at, and do they think it's too risky? I don't know. I mean, what could it be?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
I mean, you know what, Tim Tszyu, yes, I was at the fight. It was great. It was electrifying. It was great. Yeah. Okay. But do we really want to see it again? Really? Be honest.
I will say this. If Tim Tszyu would have not got destroyed by Bakram, then I would have been like, yes, right away. I thought it should have happened immediately. It is disappointing because Xander, they shook on it, right? They shook on it.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, a lot of people want to see it. But again, it didn't even get to the purse bid. They couldn't agree on a number, which I think you might be right. These handlers might have said, hey, you know what? It's not, the risk is not as great as the reward.
Right.
Let's give this belt up. Tim Tszyu looks like he's damaged goods. Let's go beat Tim Tszyu, get some money, and move forward.
Because let's be honest, okay? Yeah. With all due respect to Fundora, he really has not elevated much. Okay, so he is using his reach a tiny bit more, not like his sister. Yeah. But he hasn't really elevated. He hasn't grown, in my opinion. His boxing IQ. Okay, yep. So they know that Tszyu is safe. We've done this. We'll do it again. Well, Xander is a young, hungry, up and coming superstar.
Yeah.
Are they ready to like? Is Fundora ready to have to, leave a few things behind, and if he loses, which I am a huge Xander fan.
I mean, listen, Xander, he has a very high skill set. He can box. He's not the biggest puncher, but he's got pop.
Very even both hands. Yeah.
It's tough for me because again, I'm Puerto Rican. My father told me I had to break the news to my dad. He was pissed. Puerto Rican take this shit personal. I'm not gonna lie. And Xander is the one Puerto Rican that every Puerto Rican wants to be that next superstar, right? So,
sure, yeah.
The fact that, and I tell my dad all the time, I was like, Fundora's probably I don't want to call it easy, but I think it's the safest bet for him to get a title at 154 because I believe Bakram is dangerous. Virgil Ortiz is dangerous.
Yeah.
Those are guys that I don't know if Xander's necessarily ready for at this point.
Right, but this would have been a good little test for him to see where he's at.
Yeah, it's upsetting. And again, I would have loved to have seen a rematch with Tim Tszyu, but I think it would have been more so right after the.
But would you really have loved to see it? Like you would have loved it, or it would have been okay. We got some fights on tonight.
No, I would have loved it, but if everything that didn't transpire, the Bakram thing didn't transpire, I would have loved it. The fact that it did transpire, I'm not really loving it. It's kind of like, I'd rather see Xander at this point.
I'm trying to. I feel bad because I'm trying to find this young lady's name. She was also signed by MVP. She's Puerto Rican. She went to the Olympics. I saw her,
Oh, I know you're talking about
and I feel so bad that I
she's
cannot remember
Amanda's
her
fighter.
name. And she is
She's
going.
good.
She is another Puerto Rican superstar.
Yeah, she's under Amanda had her first. She signed her, and I think she
Yes,
brought her
and then
MVP.
now she's I don't think is she with MVP or
I know she was with Amanda for sure because Amanda was at her fights. I watched. She's really good too. She's
okay.
like a little brown skin Puerto Rican girl. I know you're talking
Okay,
about.
but also Salado has a Puerto Rican
Oh,
girl.
another one.
What would you say her name was?
I forgot her name.
Oh, I'm so bad, and I feel so bad. I'm gonna Salida.
Christine.
I
You're the one with the
know,
memory,
I
bro. What's wrong with
know. Okay, yeah, I just I feel so bad. But anyway, there's some good female Puerto Ricans that are coming up too. But Xander, yeah, I think he's the one. I think that people don't. I don't know. You tell me. You're Puerto Rican. Berlanga is. I mean, do you claim him as Puerto Rican? Was he?
No, Berlanga's Puerto Rican. Don't do that.
I'm
But
just saying.
we
You
don't.
said Xander. You didn't say Berlanga.
He hasn't earned the love from the Puerto Rican fans as much as he
Okay.
believes he has. And I like Edgar. I like his team. I like everything about him. But no, Xander's, and you gotta understand too. And I think people don't understand this. I don't know if this is the same thing with Mexicans, but when it comes to Puerto Ricans, it's a lot harder for you to get the love of the people if you were raised in the States, like you were raised in New York.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. It's.
Camacho had a fight for it. He's my favorite Puerto Rican fighter of all time.
Richard Torres, his dad is Mexican. He was born here.
De La Hoya felt it for a while. Remember when he was
Yeah,
gonna fight
it's true.
Chavez? You know,
But
they
it's not
keep
just boxing. It's life.
no, but I mean, when it comes to listen, that's how it is. Like Trinidad is always going to be more loved than a Camacho. I personally love Camacho more, to be honest. Rosario, when Rosario fought Camacho, Rosario was born on the island and whatnot, right? Or he was raised in the island. Camacho was raised in Harlem.
What about Amanda? Amanda, I don't believe was born in Puerto Rico.
That's all we have right now at this point. And Amanda represents it, and
so it's subjective.
Yeah, when it comes, I guess maybe the male fighters, and it hasn't really been a superstar come out of Puerto Rico since Miguel Cotto.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's that? 2017? It was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
When it comes to Edgar, and again, Puerto Rico's not big on the hip hop thing and stuff like that. They're big on their own hip hop stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, they respect stuff from the island. You know what I mean? And then when you celebrate that celebration, a lot of people kind of looked at it like, "Yo, what's going on?" But Xander, and I don't even know if Xander's born over there or whatnot, but they're looking at Xander like they're looking at like he's the next one.
Yeah.
Also, Jorge Garcia Perez. What is that? This is a vacant 150 pounds. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. But there's another Puerto Rican guy. I think he's like 105 pounds, something like that.
Okay.
And, those guys don't get a lot of love. But let me ask you this: where does Xander go from here? If he clearly can't get the Fundora fight, and I thought he should have went after Tim Tszyu myself. But
Natalie Dev, she's good too. Where does he go? I think where does he go? I don't know. I mean, as far as like big names, it's a really good question.
It's not necessarily big names. It's sometimes it's a big fight.
He needs to get some kind of belt. It doesn't have to be a big belt. Yeah. He needs to get something.
I think though boxing is clamoring for another great Puerto Rican fighter because Puerto Rico is such a big market, and I think they're hanging their hats on Xander. That was a big missed opportunity for him not to get, and possibly he's probably going to get emailed the belt. And I told my father that shit. He was kind of like, "Oh, now at least he got to defend it," which is cool. But I hate that. That's why I hate the email thing. By the way, Bam Rodriguez just texted me, and he said he's coming to Team Puerto Rico, so he is not Mexican American.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I swear, Christina's such a hater.
There's no way.
He's Team Puerto Rico. That's what he said.
Definitely can't have Bam.
No, that's Bam. That's Bam. Bam is Puerto Rican. In our eyes, is Puerto Rican.
Okay.
But where does Xander go? Does he stay at 154? Does he go to 160?
I mean, he's a big guy. He's a big guy.
You know what's a good fight? I'm gonna put this out there. How about Charlo? Charlo said he's coming back. Why not Charlo? Charlo said he never lost the belts. Yeah, they took it from him.
You know what, Norbs? I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that. And Charles Dominican too. So Puerto Rico versus Dominican
Oh
Republic.
my gosh. No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. You know that? I swear to you right now, he's half Dominican. Go look it up. The Charles are half Dominican.
Okay. I will do that.
You don't believe? Why would I lie to you?
I don't think you would lie. I just think that you
No. They're half Dominican. If
first
you
time
watch,
ever hearing that, but they could be. Who knows?
they're half Dominican. This
I
is
mean,
fact.
we're all half something mixed with something. We all have.
I'm Puerto Rican, okay? Puerto Rock puro, all right?
Okay,
But
cool.
how about Charlo? Charlo would be I think that would be a great look
I
for
think that would be a great matchup, actually.
dangerous look, but a
Yeah,
very good look. Like that is a tough fight. I think it's a tougher
it is
fight
a
than
tough fight.
Fundora.
It is a tough fight, but you know what? We're going to see where Xander belongs.
Yeah, I actually believe it's a tougher fight than the Fundora fight. To be honest with you, I think Charles. I mean, Charles' losses have. I mean, and he's rebounded very well from his losses.
I think as far as awkwardness, then I think that Fundora's the tougher one because you can't. He's so awkward. But as far as like muscle and rage, Charlo, yeah.
I just like Charlo fire in the ring. I like he's got the pop. He's gonna challenge you. He's
Yeah.
he's a good fighter, man. Like listen, and he had a point. Nobody took my belt; they took it away from me.
Yeah.
And he's a tough guy, and I think that would be a really, really credible win.
Let's put it out there. Yeah, this Norb said it here, right here. I think I like that. I like that.
I like it too. I like it. Another fight that was announced, and I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this one. Trevor McCumbee versus Diego Pacheco to be co-main event to Bam. Who the hell? What the hell is? Hold on.
Yeah,
to Bam versus Puerto Rican Bam Rodriguez or whatever. You know, I like this fight. First of all, I love Trevor McCumbee. You know, he's a man of God. Love him to death. I love what he did against Caleb Plant. I just feel like Caleb did what he had to do. But I think this is a big challenge for Pacheco, especially coming after that big win versus Nelson.
I think yeah, Pacheco. I mean, you think this is a challenge for Pacheco? Is that what you said?
I like McCumbee. I'm not gonna lie. I like
him too.
I like him. I think he's tough.
But I believe that Steven Nelson was a tougher opposition.
I think he's okay. So I think Nelson is a better boxer than McCumbee. As a purist, but I think McCumbee has a wild card in him. He has that awkward power. I think people sleep on him, and sometimes it's not who's the better fighter; it's who's different. You know what I mean? Like where the punches are coming from, and he has. I mean, maybe McCumbee learned from that.
That's for sure.
Huh?
Yeah, for sure. He's going to have to do. I'm sure they're doing their homework. You know, because he is a little off, a little awkward, but.
No,
yeah.
And McCumbie's, you know, he has a lot of amateur experience. He understands how to fight. He did have a break, a long layoff before he fought Caleb Plant. You know, he's kind of back in his zone, and you know, he sees this as an opportunity, you know, to make some money. And you know, Pacheco can get a win against a very credible fighter. And listen, if McCumbee were to go out and let's say have a great fight and almost win this fight, you know, chances are, you know, he could get a bigger fight. Well, he was trying to get Berlanga. Berlanga didn't take the bait. I like McCumbee.
This is a good fight. It's not a great fight to me. It's a good fight. But of course, I'm going to watch.
Such a hater. Lonnie Brown TV says I'm crazy. Noise adopted by Black Americans. Yeah, y'all crazy. But no, I like Pacheco, right? But Pacheco did have a very good fight versus Steven Nelson. He needs to keep it up, and he's trying to get his hat in that Canelo sweepstakes. So you know, he needs to continue to do.
I mean, there's only 2 spots left.
Yeah, I know. And then you know, after Bud retires, Canelo got with Bivol, and then that's it, one more. So
this guy, somebody get this guy.
I'm just letting you know what's happening. I'm going to remind you.
Let me just say this. I want to give y'all something to think about, and I'm going to get a lot of scrutiny, and I don't care. I don't care because, you know, I say what I want. So I want everybody to go back and watch the Berlanga fight against Canelo, okay? Watch it again. I'm not saying he should have had a parade because he lasted 12 rounds. But there were some great exchanges. Go back and watch it. And you tell me how you think Canelo is going to beat Bud.
Oh my
That's all I'm
God,
gonna
are you
say.
serious? This
That's
guy was
all I'm gonna
200.
say.
First of all, did you not see your man get wobbled by what's his name? Who got knocked out by Gervonta Davis at 135? Let's be. This guy's walking around at 200 pounds. But since you want to bring up the GOAT,
and like Berlanga last fight, he tried to survive, and it's very deep, and it's even harder. And like Berlanga last fight, he tried to survive, and it's very difficult. Even
he tried to survive. He tried to survive.
Berlanga was very upset about that. I don't blame him. I mean, to me, it was very disrespectful too.
Like you says, you're good at the segue stuff. You know, you're really good at it. You know? I had a lot of respect for this little bitch, but now, mama te un bicho cabrón. He speaks like a Mexican. I don't understand how
I know he does, right?
Right? What the hell's going on here? You know, he says, tu mandas nada en el boxeo. You know, he actually does. He runs boxing. You're delusional mother effer. I stood toe to toe with you for 12 rounds with a fucked up arm.
I mean, he probably didn't have to throw in the fucked up arm.
What the fuck you gonna do?
First of all, that's not it.
easy money.
First of all, you did not stand toe to toe with Canelo for 12 rounds.
I mean, not for 12 rounds, no. But there were moments.
Later in the fight, when you know he could withstand the blows, right, working around at 200 something pounds, he decided to let his hands go for about a round and a half. Not 12 rounds, let's be honest. And he did pepper Canelo a little bit and frustrated Canelo because Canelo couldn't knock him out. The one plus I will give him in that fight over Munguia, Canelo was trying to knock him out, but this is a big boy. And I've heard it from other people that fought Berlanga. Berlanga is not a small guy at all.
He's not.
You know what I mean? So, listen, Edgar has a lot to be proud of. Let me not sit here and rain on his parade.
He really does.
Canelo is arguably.
Edgar, I'm a fan, Edgar.
Yeah, he's arguably top 5 fighters to ever live. Canelo, right? In my opinion. Okay. You didn't get knocked out, which is cool, but to say you went 12 rounds toe to toe was a little bit of a reach, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. He didn't go toe to toe, but he did go the 12 rounds and he didn't get knocked out.
No, he did
have some good exchanges.
He did.
He had some good exchanges.
He did.
He did better to me than he has against anybody else. There was a name.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Nobody's doubting how tough Berlanga is. He's a big guy. Like, people gotta understand too. Like, Canelo is not much bigger than Bud Crawford. I don't think people actually understand that.
He's not bigger than Bud Crawford.
He's not. I think Bud might be a little bigger. He's just fighting up in a weight cut. But that's why you have to understand what he's doing is amazing. Like, it's really crazy.
Yeah,
but I'm just walking around at 210 easily.
Yeah, I take nothing away from Canelo. That was a tough ass fight. That was a big boy that was standing for.
But Berlanga has a lot to gain, and maybe this is an attempt to get a rematch. You know, he has been saying he wants a rematch. Most people aren't biting it because it's like jacking it because it's like you got to do more. And now he has a fight coming up against Hamza Shariz. So there's some things he has to get out the way. Yeah. But was Canelo disrespectful? I don't know if Canelo was disrespectful.
I mean, you're Berlanga.
Yeah. What? What did you say?
If you're Berlanga,
No, I mean, it does take away from.
And it's even harder. And like Berlanga last fight, he tried to survive, and it's very difficult. Even.
So basically, he's talking about getting a knockout. People always asking about the knockout. It is tough, when somebody's not whatever. But listen, to be offended by it, I get it. I don't think Berlanga's really offended.
Well, trying to survive. What? I mean, as a man, I'm not a man, so I would think that would be offensive. We're both men. We're both just doing our thing, and you're talking about I'm trying to survive.
Hold on, Monty Brown has a message for Christine. Let me read this message to you, Christine. Bud will be the same as Charlo. I respect him stepping up, but he will get a bag and retire, in my opinion. Shout out to MAW. Hello, Boxing Fest between the chat.
We're gonna circle back. We're gonna circle back.
You're gonna circle back. Xander versus Jamel is quality. If it happens, I'm with you. I like it. I love the fight. Xander versus Perez more likely though. Fondora versus Tim Tszyu rematch. Great news. Smash that like button. Thank you, MAW. So let's circle back. Let's circle.
Yeah, we're gonna circle back. We're definitely gonna circle back. I don't want y'all to go into the witness protection plan after Bud, beats Canelo. Don't do it. I'm gonna be looking for y'all.
I'm not hard to find. I'm gonna be right here with my Canelo t-shirt. And I'm gonna be like, "Viva Mexico, cabrones!" I'm gonna be just with him. When he comes out and
I'm
they
gonna
say,
have my Latinas for Bud
oh
t-shirt.
my God, they're gonna think you're selling weed. Stop that, okay?
Right? Latinas for Bud. Oh my God.
That's exactly what they're gonna think.
That's so true. That's
You're
hilarious.
crazy. But when it comes to Edgar, I feel like people want to see more of him doing than talking at this point. But at the same time, it's hard not to respond to. I mean, Canelo's an icon, so it's gonna anything you respond to a Canelo. If Canelo mentions your name,
Yeah.
it's
I mean, absolutely.
No.
You're gonna jump on that train.
Think about it. This is the most interviews Bud has ever done in his career, and I'm enjoying his interviews. They're very funny.
Awesome.
They're really good. It shows his competitive nature. But I feel like he just jumped at an opportunity. Was he really upset? Probably. I don't believe that he was going toe to toe, but it is what it is. But let's move forward and let's get to your boy. And I wanted to play what your boy was talking about. I loved it. I loved everything he said here. I just
what I mean? Right. People taking away from his boxing skills and just thinking that he's just this puncher when that's not true. So that's why I laugh, because we're not just looking at Canelo as a puncher. We're looking at him as a whole fighter, a complete fighter. He can take a punch, he can deliver a punch, he can counter punch you, he can box you, he can punch on you, you know what I mean? Good body puncher, good, fighter that got good balance. He never getting out of position. So we looking at all that.
Where were you when you decided to say, you know what, my next great adventure, Canelo?
It's crazy. I don't even know. I don't even know where I was at, but it was like, I'm always willing to challenge myself. Like today with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, it's just in
That's
me.
the first thing he did. He came in, I tackle you.
It's just in me. It's just the competitive nature in me. If I was sitting next to Michael Jordan, I'd be like, man, let's play one-on-one.
Right.
Let me see how many I can score on you. That's just me. So accomplishing so much and failing to have the Manny Pacquiao fights, the Cotto fights, and the Shane Mosley that all the other great fighters had when these fighters was on their way out, that made them, the star that they is. Not having those guys to share the ring with.
Right.
It's like, oh man, what can you do to leapfrog those fighters? Why not go up 3 weight classes?
You left off 2 things about Canelo. And he also has great feints. He has great feints and angles. He's absolutely right. I mean, taking nothing away from him.
I love the comparison to Michael Jordan. I loved it. See, you touched me right here, bud. Right here. You talk about Canelo, right? Right here. I mean, he did have a lot of missed opportunities. Unfortunate for Bud Crawford not getting a Shane Mosley fight. Total fights. These are all fights that would have really boosted up his resume. A lot of people, although some believe he is the best pound-for-pound fighter, I do not. I believe he's top 3. This would have solidified him. And listen, jumping up 3 weight classes in about a year and a half, 2 years against the best fighter in the world, in my opinion, is an incredible feat.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to remember, like, some of these guys and girls are at the mercy of the promotional company. Like, sometimes they're sitting on shelves. Like, I have so many stories, but I'm not gonna talk about it on air. But there are a bunch of these fighters that are sitting on shelves because the promoter does not believe that they're gonna make them any money. And he is now playing catch up.
Yeah, and this is a good comment by MAW. Bud is very realistic, but also very confident in self-belief.
Yes, he is.
First of all, he understands what's in front of him. You know, and it's just something I was glad because for some strange reason, a lot of people when they talk about Canelo, especially analysts, I'm gonna say it specifically like Timothy Bradley, make Canelo out to be this big brute that just goes in there, doesn't have common sense. He has a very high IQ. He's a great
Yeah,
counterpuncher. He has great
very
feet.
high reaction.
There's not many people that cut the ring off better than him, but
Yes.
they make him to be this big brute. And you know, a lot of people think like that when it comes to a lot of Mexican fighters, which is kind of weird because you know they're very straightforward. Canelo doesn't typically fight like a traditional Mexican fighter.
He has more tools, definitely.
Yeah, he has a lot of tools. He's learned a lot in the game, and you can tell he studies a lot. And I think it's going to be a crazy chess match. Now, how long can Bud keep him off of him is going to be the biggest question. And I think Bud understands that he's probably not going to knock him out. He's going to have to beat him in another way, but he's going to have to get his respect. So it's a great chess match. And regardless, after Canelo knocks him out, I'm still going to have respect for Bud. You know what I mean? Just being honest. I like Bud.
You know, the thing about Canelo, he's very well-rounded and everything, but we've seen him on occasion get really frustrated with fighters. Like if they have too much movement. You know, he has to cut the ring, but he obviously prefers for you to stand in front of him. Bud is also going to be turning circles around him using his angles. He's going to be very elusive, and we know that Canelo gets very frustrated with those kind of fights. So it's a mind thing as well.
I've never seen Bud be that elusive though. I've never really seen. I think he is, but elusive on a level of Floyd Mayweather or something like that. Or
it's for the level of competition, you see more, and with Canelo, you're going to see.
I just feel like I feel like he's gonna have to maintain that for 12 rounds, and that's gonna be the challenge. And I think Canelo has learned a lot and has fought a lot of those fighters to the point where I think he's picked up a trick or two in regards to people trying to avoid him. And Canelo is probably the best at cutting the ring. And I forgot who I was talking, who I was watching. I was watching a Paulie Malignaggi interview, and I thought this was really interesting. And he was talking about fighting Miguel Cotto. And he said Miguel Cotto hits hard. But he said the hardest thing to deal with Miguel Cotto was the constant pressure. That's what really got him tired. And he said he would turn it and Cotto will be right there. Like every move we make. And that's going to be kind of similar to what Canelo's going to play.
I'm thinking you're describing Bud. He's going to be right there. He's going to be at his range, whether it be mid, long, close, whatever. He's going to do what he has to do. And he's going to work those angles and run circles around Canelo. I'm just telling you right now.
I think he's going to run a circle and end up in a square box. I'm not going to lie to you. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Canelo has learned from a lot of those guys. And I think it's going to be a good chess match, but I think
it's going to be a beautiful chess match.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, what size t-shirt are you?
Medium.
Okay, I'm going to get you a medium. Canelo, King of the World t-shirt. What color? What color would you like? You don't want a Team Canelo? They're nice.
Yeah, I'll take one, but the King of the World, no.
I don't know why you don't support my guy. That's the greatest Puerto Rican fighter to ever live.
I do not dislike Canelo. I think he is very talented. I will never, ever say he is not. I will never take anything away from him. Never. But we got two people. We got to pick a corner, right? See, this is the problem. We talked about this. This is the problem with these boxers today. You pick a corner, then the other person, thinks you're a hater or doesn't like you. So you know what? We got to pick a corner. I'm picking.
You're not a chola no more. That's it. I'm taking your chola card away. So let's get into these presses and then we out of here. These presses have been really funny. I do like Devin's demeanor. I've watched some of the stuff he's saying, and he's saying a lot of the right things. I like that. Rolly is just Rolly. He's hilarious. I think Rolly understands. He's going there. He's there to be put to sleep. I think Ryan's putting him to sleep within 3 rounds. Teofimo, though, to me, has been the standout. I feel like Teofimo is embracing the moment. Like, you ever watch, I remember watching Michael Jordan come to the Garden, right? And he came to the Garden, and he always knew every time he came to the Garden, it was going to be a show, right? And he
Mhm.
had this aura of confidence. And I remember one specific where he had 55 points after his retirement. And the reason I bring that up is because it looks as if he understands everything that's going into this moment, and he wants everything that everyone has gotten in that's going to be in the arena with him.
Mhm.
He believes he deserves it. He's came out and said, he's made a lot of comments about not getting paid the way he should. I really believe he's embracing this moment. I think Barbosa's in a lot of trouble this weekend, and I think we're going to see the best Teofimo Lopez ever. That's what I really truly believe Teofimo is going to put on the show of the weekend. I don't know.
I think Tio's in a really good place right now, in a really good space. It seems like he's got his life together,
Having fun.
and I saw that he had Nate Jones. Was it? No. Nate Jones was not with him. He was with Devin. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
But anyway, and I think that he's in a really good space. But I think that we're going to see the best of both these guys, because I think that they're going to pull it out of each other. I think we're going to see a tremendous show with these two.
I mean, I think we're going to see a good Barbosa. It's just a good Barbosa versus a good Teofimo. There's levels, and I think Teofimo is the most gifted fighter from 135 to
Very,
100.
very talented.
Like it's the things that he can do, the speed, his agility. It's all been about discipline to me. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I really believe he's gonna put on a show. Marty Brown TV says my thing is Bud has to hope his power carry up. No, it's not gonna carry up. I don't care if you come with a sledgehammer against Canelo. You're not gonna go and beat Canelo with power. I'm just being honest.
Oh, listen to this guy.
Christine,
Easy money.
Easy, nothing.
that's definitely the bigger question. If Bud has enough to keep Canelo off him. I'm with you. Christine is delusional. She's crazy. I think she smoked some Bud before she got out there. Gilbert Barboza, in my honest opinion, the toughest fighter in the card. I hear you. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, me
That
too.
Teofimo is going
Me
to.
too, MAW. Me too.
Listen, I think Teofimo is going to make it look like a Josh Taylor fight.
Oh, really?
Listen, Teofimo is one of those fighters that can really make you look bad. Listen, I don't want to overblow his skill set. It's just when he's on.
Tio does better. Tio does better with better boxers. Okay, better boxers. And Barboza is a boxer, but he's also a puncher. He's a brute.
But you know what I think so too? I think, and going back to taking his career back, I think his father was talking too much. You don't even see him yapping anymore.
Yeah.
He went out there and seeked guidance from Canelo and what's the trainer's name? I forgot his name. The Canelo camp or whatnot. And I feel like he's done a lot of those things to kind of learn and embrace. And I think he's ready to take a superstar approach. And he really does want to fight guys like he wanted to fight Bud at one point, Boots Ennis. He really wants to challenge himself. And I think, listen, if I had my choice between the three, Ryan, Devin, and him to fight, I would not pick Tio. Tio's the most dangerous out of all three of them. There's a reason Gervonta doesn't mention his name. This guy is a dangerous fighter. He's really that good. I think his worst enemy is himself.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's true.
I'm super high. I think he's gonna have a hell of a performance. Barboza has an engine. He does 12 rounds for fun. If Tio not his A game, it could be fun. Mr. Neutral, I hear you. I hear you. But I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a sweep like you think it is. I think it's a good fight. I think it's great. I mean, like I'm excited. I think
it's the most challenging fight, but I really believe
easy money.
Yeah, hombre, easy money. There's no easy money.
Tio is going to go. Let's mark my words right now, right?
Okay.
Tio is going to have the performance of the night, of the weekend. He's going to have the performance of the weekend. I would be surprised, very, very surprised, if it is competitive. I think Tio is going to be that good.
Wait, you said you're going to be surprised if it's competitive?
I really think Tio's going to go ape shit.
Just going to stand in the middle of the ring and just.
I don't think Barboza has a tool set. I just don't think he has a tool set to beat a guy like Tio. I believe in Tio. I think he's going to go ape shit.
Okay.
Oh my God! Why I don't ever get these type of comments. Look at this one. Hey yo, Norris, who's this mama, my guy? What the hell? Like,
Mama for sure. Many
oh,
kids.
yeah,
Many kids. Many kids.
Tio does better and looks good when guys are aggressively chasing him. Tio's a counterpuncher, looks bad when he has to work and chase the opponent, to my honest opinion. He had that fight against Jermaine Ortiz when he was running the whole fight, didn't cut the ring off well. I think he's done things to help those situations. I'm expecting a great Tio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's better against boxers. A Barboza is gonna give him some different looks.
Yeah. He says, look at Sandor Jermaine. I think, and listen, I've seen all the Tio fights. I think it's everything in one that's going to motivate him for this fight. He's on the fight with his peers that have got more light than him. Shakur Stevenson's going to be in the building. There's going to be a lot of people in there that he is trying to point and say, look, I'm the king of this division. What does he say all the time? I'm the only lineal champion here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one that did it in 2 divisions. None of you guys have done what I've done. He's got that chip on his shoulder. He's got that chip on his shoulder, and I think he's going to be great this weekend. I'm sorry. I think he's
okay, so you know what? I'm just going to say let's just have like a friendly little wager. And I'm going to go with Barboza, and you go with Tio.
You got Barboza winning?
Yeah, just for fun. But yeah, I do.
What the fuck you going to do?
What?
Yeah.
No. It can't be for fun. You really got him winning.
It's real. It's real. I'm saying, I mean, I don't bet. So I'm saying let's bet for fun.
Bruce got Barboza. My man Monty Brown got Barboza.
I got Barboza too.
Wow. You guys are Tio haters.
No, I like Tio. I'm not a Tio hater. You don't be like some of these folks that say you're hater because you didn't pick their guy. Come on. I don't think you're a Bud hater.
I love Bud.
Exactly. And I love Tio. I think he's doing really great, but I just think Barboza has his number.
I'm going to tweet Tio right now. This is Tio's weekend. Tio Fimo's weekend. He will establish that he is a top
Just cut the part
fighter.
You pick Tio and I pick Barboza. Just cut that out and let's put that up.
I don't care what Christine says. I'm going to put that in that.
Oh, okay.
What in the ring what Christine says? Tio wins.
Are you writing a novel or what?
Oh, listen, this is my boy right here. Dominant performance. I'm going to tweet it, and I just added you. That's what I just added. Now we have a bookmark. It was 11:08 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
That's it. I'm not sleeping on Barboza. I just know how my boy Tio gets down.
Okay.
Bad motherfucker right there.
I'm not sleeping on Tio either, but I know how Barboza gets down.
Barboza was impressive with Catterall, arguably BJT, blah, 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 blah,
Yep.
blah, blah.
Yep.
All right.
Let them know.
Blah.
Let them know, guys.
Whatever, Christine. You know what? I don't. First her, now you're gonna take shots on my girl Gabby. I don't know, man.
Gabby, I love Gabby.
If you go against Gabby, I don't know if I could talk to you again.
I mean, I can't go against her right now. There's nobody that can beat her in her weight class.
Whatever. But I know you got to get back to trading chicken. She got a big fight July 11th.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Team Tio in the building. Team Canelo in the building. This show you cannot say nothing bad about Canelo. I will block you. Just letting you guys know.
Oh yeah,
I love Canelo. I told you if I meet him, I want to hug.
Where's your Canelo poster? Yeah, he wants a hug from Canelo.
No, I'm gonna get gloves and a hug from him. I'm gonna put it. I'm right there, somewhere right there. I haven't finished my man cave yet. Once I finish, it's gonna be a nice mural of a Puerto Rican flag.
Why don't you get like a Canelo chair, and you can sit on his lap during the show?
What do they sell those?
I'm sure we can find one.
You know, do they have like a Canelo plush doll? I'll have him interview with me all day right here.
There you go. We could find that too.
I'm gonna get the uppercut picture.
Because after September, all his stuff is gonna go on sale. Clearance, 50% off.
I'm gonna get the knockout poster of when he knocks out Crawford. That's what I'm gonna put up there.
Okay, we shall see.
Crawford, I like you. Don't get it twisted. But Christine is.
Oh, he's not going to get offended. He's not like some of these other boxers that get offended if you go against them. He's not.
I like Bud. I'm going to be in Texas, but I'm going to pull up on you, man. Just letting you know. With a Canelo t-shirt on. Just let you know. With a Canelo t-shirt on. In Omaha, Nebraska. What the hell is in Nebraska? Seriously. Like,
Bud, B&B, all the talent that's coming out of there.
no, please. I don't want to hear that garbage. With a card like this, it really doesn't matter who they say the main event is. True. But guys, I gotta let Christine go. She gotta get to training. She gotta get to work.
Peace, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll be back Friday. We gotta do a Fatal Fury card Friday or something.
Okay, let's do it.
We'll be back tomorrow evening.
Yeah, so 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m.
Eastern. Yep.
Eastern, just lunch. Join, and we have a guest coming on. We're not going to say who it is. You never know who's going to come
Please,
join us.
Canelo, please, Canelo, please.
No. Good night.
We're out of here. Bye. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. I appreciate y'all and everything.